Dementia Researcher with a blog and a rating.
Blog Dementia Researcher, from wall socket to search engine, why digital visibility matters in care home research. When I started nursing, there were probably half a dozen computers in the entire hospital. They were accessed by a few chosen admin staff, and the only thing they were ever connected to was the 240 volt wall socket. I'm now into my 5th nursing decade since those lesson lightning times, and as we all know, connectivity is now the word, not only socially but in organisational visibility. Now, before I go any further, I should apologise for the buzzwords that are about to uncomfortably, no doubt, trip off my lips. But trying to make this point without using them would be a bit like writing an ethics proposal without using vowels. So here goes. For a bit of context, ENRICH Scotland supports and promotes research within care homes across Scotland. The aim is straightforward: to help research become part of everyday care home practice so that evidence can improve treatment, care and quality of life for residents. When ENRICH Scotland first received funding in 2022 from the Chief Scientist Office of the Scottish Government, the main priority was raising the profile of ENRICH Scotland. The reasons were fairly simple. One of the realities of modern research is that if people can't easily find you, they're unlikely to engage with you. Now, that may sound obvious, but for a long time, care home research had struggles with exactly that problem. Researchers were enthusiastic, but scattered across different institutions, and care homes were interested, but unsure where to start. The routes between the two were not always particularly clear. So this is where what people now call digital visibility comes in. That's 2 buzzwords. As it was explained to me, it is not marketing in the commercial sense, and it certainly is not about collecting followers or online popularity. In practical terms, it simply means making sure that when someone goes looking online for information about care home research, they can quickly find a clear and credible place to begin. It's important to remember that care home research spans a wide range of topics. Studies may look at clinical care, service organisations, workforce development and planning, quality improvements, or the lived experiences of residents and families. An important point for readers of this blog is that while not every study focuses specifically on dementia, the demographics of care homes mean that many residents live with this disease or significant cognitive impairment. That inevitably means that most care home research needs to consider dementia within its design. Otherwise, the majority of the intended population may be unintentionally excluded, hence creating bias. That issue aside, what links all these studies is the need to work with care homes as genuine partners in research, rather than simply as places where research happens. Achieving that consistently across a diverse and busy sector isn't always straightforward. Over the past 5 years, ENRICH Scotland has addressed and arguably surpassed this challenge by providing a clear gateway into care home research. A simple way to prove this is to type the phrase Care Home Research Scotland into a search engine. What you'll increasingly find is that ENRICH Scotland doesn't just appear as the first result, it fills much of the entire first page. Now, I'm told that securing that number 1 spot is something of a digital holy grail. But leaving Indiana Jones aside for the moment, what it really means in practical terms is that anyone looking for care home research in Scotland is quickly directed to the same coordinated starting point. Now, that might sound like a small thing, but it actually tells us something important about how research infrastructure develops. Instead of multiple disconnected sources of information, there is a recognisable pathway that helps care homes and researchers understand where to start and how to engage. Importantly, this visibility reflects something deeper about how research tends to operate in Scotland. One of ENRICH Scotland's strengths is that we operate as one team covering the whole country. Team Scotland, if you like. Yes, we're a relatively small country, but perhaps because of that, collaboration often comes more naturally than competition. That spirit is particularly valuable in care home research. Behind the visible front door provided by ENRICH Scotland sits a wider network of universities, researchers, care providers and policy colleagues working together. The result is not just a single organisation claiming ownership of the research landscape, but a coordinated approach that makes participation easier for everyone involved. For care homes, that means a clearer route to explore research opportunities and access support if they wish to take it. For researchers, it offers a more organised way of engaging with the sector and helps avoid the situation where individual homes receive multiple unconnected approaches from different studies. Looking back over the last 5 years, it is encouraging to see how this model has developed. Networks have grown, relationships between researchers and care providers have strengthened, and there is an increasing recognition that care homes themselves are important partners in generating knowledge that can improve care. At the same time, the digital landscape continues to evolve faster than I personally can keep up with. The ways people search for information, share knowledge, and connect with research opportunities are constantly changing. Maintaining visibility, therefore, becomes an ongoing task rather than something achieved once and then forgotten. If the first 5 years of ENRICH Scotland have been about building that visible gateway, which I must say we've achieved beyond their expectations, then the next 5 years may be about strengthening what sits behind it. Continued collaboration, deeper engagement with care providers and maintaining that coordinated Team Scotland approach will all be important parts of the journey. Perhaps most importantly, the principle should remain simple. In a connected world, research should be easy to find, easy to understand, and easy to engage with. If someone searching for care home research in Scotland quickly discovers a clear route through ENRICH Scotland, then that visibility is doing exactly what good research infrastructure should do. And if we occasionally have to use a few buzzwords to describe it, I suppose that's a small price to pay. After all, it does mean research is a little more connected than it was back in the days when the only thing a computer was connected to was the wall.
Thank you for listening. Join the Dementia Research bloggers and share your own views.